It is pre-release time. We have a pre-release for Minecraft 1.21.2. Now pre-releases are when I usually update Percy's Park for the next full update. And since all of you like my previous video so much, where I just very casually took you through my development cycle of new features, I figure you might enjoy watching me update the park as well. So this will be a very casual video here. Now the first thing that we need to do is check that everything still works. And I know for a fact that there will be one thing that won't work, and it will be over here somewhere. Let's have a look. See that? These are butterflies. And they're all missing their wings, unfortunately. Oh, look, here are their wings. They're just lost. So I made a change to the butterflies since the butterfly video. They kind of had the tendency of losing their wings, and so I stuck the wings to them as passengers. But it's exactly that is now broken, so that is fun. Let's fix that. And it's exactly this command that's broken right now, because to make the wings rotate the right way, we need to teleport them to rotate the right way. Only the teleport command doesn't really work for passengers anymore in this version. So they gave us a new command, and that's the rotate command. And we can just get rid of this over here, and I think this should work. It's giving me red because the plugin isn't updated here, but I think it should work. And look at that, instantly we've got it to work again, so this is really nice. That was a really simple fix, wasn't it? I really hope that if anything else is broken, it will be just as easy to fix as this. And so now I'm going to go through each and every experience here in the park to see if anything is broken. I don't think much will be broken. And when I'm done doing that, we are actually going to add some really cool new functionality to the park that we can't do now because of this update. So I'll see you in a second. Whoosh. So something I'm noticing throughout the park, you can kind of see it on the things besides here. Teleportation seems to be a little bit broken. And that especially seems to apply to relative teleportation. I'm not sure if this is visual or not, which is weird. But it does make some rides a little bit weird. I'll show you what I mean. Ouch. If we go over here in this ride, and let's have a seat and wait for it to start. There we go. You can see it feels, I don't know, it feels a little bit rickety. It's having trouble teleporting the basket around the player, it seems. And I feel like this is mostly visual. I'm not really sure, but this is kind of an issue, I think. And I'm afraid it's an issue that I can't really do a whole lot about. Something that I've noticed that is actually kind of nice. In most rides you cannot really dismount. I've disabled the shift, but when you would press shift it would glitch the screen like crazy. But I'm pressing shift now, you can kind of see my camera going down. It doesn't glitch the screen like crazy anymore, so that is kind of nice actually. Oh, this is not good. Oh, did you, I don't know. Oh, that is not good. I did how... What? Okay, this is fine though, because we're going to fix this with a new feature that's introduced. There we go. Oh, I was first. Who'd have thought? So the broom is acting a little bit weird. Oh, of course it's fine now when I start recording. It was acting crazy. I don't know what it was doing. I can sort of see it. So this is not right either. Why is this not right now? I think something is completely wrong with rotation for all of these. I think that's also what's wrong with the broom here. Other than that, the rides are pretty much all fine. There is just one thing that I noticed that's not right. Some of these rides, like this one, at the end of them will teleport you a little bit over, like over here. And that doesn't seem to work either for some reason. So that's, I don't know, it's all a little bit weird. I'm going to see if I can fix that. Whee! Look at that. Super fast train. Oh, this is not good. What just happened? What? I can't move left or right either, only up and down. What happened? I think I broke something really bad. Alright, we're pulling into the train station here, and if I am correct, it should teleport us this time. It did not. Okay, so that's not okay. This is all super inconsistent because it did it before somewhere else. I don't know what's going on. This is, by the way, the command that's responsible for it. And I'm not sure why it's not working. It's targeting the seats, what people are sitting on. And it offsets the location a little bit to be on the actual platform. And then on the passengers, so the people that sit on it, it will teleport them to this location, essentially. And if we adjust it slightly to work for us, it should just do it. You see that? And for some reason it doesn't. And I don't know why, and it bothers me. I think for now I'm just going to leave it and work on some other things. Maybe this is just one of those weird glitches that sorts itself in the next pre-release. I don't know. Oh, and now we can see the glitchy behavior of the broom. It's supposed to go forward, and it's just going left and right and all over. Yeah, look. What was that? Whoosh. For cool features that we're implementing, we're going to change a whole bunch of stuff here on the racetrack, actually. Currently, the way that it works is you pick a card, any color that you like. I'm picking green because that's my favorite. And then when everybody is in, you can hit the button again. You can hit the button again. I don't know, that was weird. You do a countdown and then it's just going to go. And I'm not pressing any buttons on my keyboard here. And I'm steering, as you can see, with my mouse. And a feature that I've always wanted it to have, but haven't been able to implement, because it was always tricky, it's not so tricky anymore, is that we can actually use the buttons on our keyboards, like our forwards, backwards, left and right buttons, to control the vehicle. I thought that would be really, really cool to do that. So let's get working on it, shall we? Now, to show you why it's such a big deal that we can do this now, I've set up 2 command blocks over here. One of them tests for forwards, the other one tests for if I'm going backwards. And the interesting thing is, we were never able to detect that when riding an entity. So let's say I go sit on the horse right now, it still detects when I'm pressing the buttons, even though I'm not really going forwards and backwards. This is possible because there are new predicates that I haven't really set up properly over here, but it doesn't really matter. I am going to set up these predicates as part of the data pack so I can easily reference them, and then we can use them inside the racetrack over there to control the vehicles. I think it's cool. Alright, so here for the predicates, I've made a player input folder, and over here we can see all the inputs. And I think these are all the ones that we have access to, which is cool. We can even see when someone is pressing the sprint button. It's super cool. Let's get rid of them. Now this here is the function that moves the cards in the racetrack. And this is something we're going to change. If predicate park general forward. So now it's only going to go if we press forwards. And we don't need to have it rotated anymore. And it also means the rotation can go here. Let's just see if it works. And we're not going. That's good. And oh, this is so cool. We're only going if I press the button. This is so cool. Okay, this is nice. For those of you wondering about this command, by the way, we're testing for glowstone all the way at the bottom of the world, and I'll show you why. This here is the racetrack, but I need to make sure that nobody goes out of bounds over here. Which is why, all the way at the bottom of the world, I've got a copy of the racetrack, but only in glowstone. And so that command is checking to make sure there is glowstone, and only then is it going to move forwards. Whoop! Pretty neat, huh? I want to add a backwards one as well. So we can move forwards, but now we can also go backwards. That's not working. I changed the wrong coordinates. Now it's working. Look at that. We can forwards and backwards. Now I want it to turn. So execute if predicate park. Let's do left. And we can use the new rotate command for it. And I'm not really sure what a good number is, but we'll figure it out. I'm just going to type -10. We'll see what happens. Okay. That's turning. Okay, that's not bad. Let's just also do it for the right one here. I think it's turning a little bit fast here, so but that's fine. Let's get rid of this so we can see a little bit easier. Yeah, this is definitely turning a little bit fast. I've set it to 5 now. And this feels much better already. Okay, oh, this is doable. This is really good. So it's not working right when I'm doing the mud. I haven't done the mud yet. But look at that, this is doable. Oh, this is tricky. So it definitely adds some difficulty to the thing. Okay. Like for the straight part, it feels nice. But it's a little too slow for the more curvy things. Like this is definitely going to be impossible. Oh, and we are on mud again. Okay, let's tweak this some more. Alright, so as you can see, I've made it play nice with the mud now. I've also set the rotation a little bit higher. I set it to 8 now. I just want to see if it's possible to do this. Oh, it's possible. Okay. I think this is a pretty good number. We need to not make it too easy. This is just a perfect number that requires a little bit of skill still. I don't think this will be possible though. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's not possible. I may have to redo this part, but other than that, I'm really happy with the way... There you go. I'm really happy with the way that this works now. Whoosh. I've been messing around quite a bit with both the racetrack over here and how controls work. First of all, what you can see is if I get into the cart and I start it, it will now tell you which buttons to press, which I thought was just a really nice addition. Whoop, let's reset this. I win again! And one thing that's nice about it is if you change your controls, where is it? Let's do left, right, backwards and forward. Why is it in this order? That's a weird order, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The title will actually adapt to what you have. And if you have arrow keys, that means that you cannot really see it. Also, I tried moving with WASD. That won't work. The point is it's going to tell you which buttons you need to press. There's a little mini tutorial just before the race starts, I guess. Hello! Anyway, that's not the only thing I've done. I've been messing around a little bit with the broom because it was acting super weird, and I think I fixed it. In fact, I made a couple of changes here. First thing you'll notice, when you summon the broom, it doesn't go zooming off like it used to do, like the race carts over there used to do as well. You now need to press W to go. Now that rotation issue that we had, I fixed it by using the rotate command instead, and I haven't had that issue since, so that's the good news, I think. Although I do think it's kind of weird that it happened. I don't think it's supposed to, but that's fine, we fixed it. The keen eyed among you may notice that the broom actually goes a little bit slower now than it used to. It used to go 1.5 blocks per game tick, whereas now it only goes 1, but that's with a really good reason. Because, what's happened over here? This is glitched. What happened over here? Well, that's for another time to figure out. Anyway, the broom goes slower, and that's with good reason, because now you can press sprint. And if you press sprint, it goes 2 blocks per game tick, which is really cool. And so even though it goes slower now by default, you can actually speed through the park a lot faster when you press the sprint button. And I've just kind of made it work the way sprinting works in Minecraft by default. If I just walk, I walk. If I press sprint, even just for a split second, it's going to go. If I'm not really holding sprint anymore and it's still sprinting, right? And when I let go of walking, then the sprinting resets sort of. And that's how the broom works as well. I just press the sprint button once, it goes faster. But then when I let go, it just resets that. I thought that was a pretty intuitive way of doing it. You will, however, also notice that you cannot really use the left and right keys like you can with the racetrack to rotate the cart, to change direction. For the broom, it is still the way that you're looking. I think that's a lot nicer because it makes it easy to go up and down. Whoosh. There is something else that we need to change though. I noticed over here in the winter fair a little issue with our hot cocoa. You see, if I just get one, you may notice that the name is Uncraftable Potion and not Hot Cocoa. Now that is of course an issue, but it's not a bad issue to have because I kind of wanted to overhaul Hot Cocoa in general. You see, the way that it works now is if you drink it, you may notice in the bar below, it for a brief second turns into a water bottle. There was never really a good way in Minecraft to replace a consumed item with a different item. The way, for example, if you eat mushroom stew, you get an empty bowl. That's technically a different item. And of course, technically this is a potion. It leaves a water bottle behind. And I'm detecting when that happens and quickly changing it. And I made a really complicated system for it with a scoreboard. It was a little bit wah, but I'm pretty sure we have some components now introduced into the game that let us replace any item with any item once it's consumed. And so I think we can just get rid of the entire scoreboard thing and just have the hot cocoa replaced by a empty mug. Now these potions, they had just a weird combination of effects, and I would detect if the player has those effects, and then I'd replace the glass bottle with just the empty mug model. Kind of convoluted, it can be easier. And we're going to do a poisonous potato because if you remove its food component, it doesn't really do a lot anymore, I think. Or did they change that too? Let's test it. Do I need to remove its consumable component? Yeah, okay, that works, but now I cannot consume it anymore. So I do consumable. How does this work? I'm gonna have to look this up real quick. Alright, MC Stacker to the rescue. Apparently it's been implemented here already. Now this here is the component that I was looking for. Use remainder. This should replace the poisonous potato that we had with one that has some custom data here. Let's see if this works. It worked! Okay, brilliant! We just bypassed the entire system. Brilliant! And so now for me it's just a matter to properly add the things that it needs to have. One little change, it doesn't do the particles anymore. Because they were weird. Hey, that's not right. Oh, poop. I messed up. Everything restored, it's all fine. I do have these messed up ones, so I guess I'll have to drink them. Oh, another issue I just noticed is this. It's got hearts. It's not supposed to show hearts. These cards, they aren't alive, of course. I think they changed a bunch of stuff with attribute modifiers, which I believe is what I use for that. I think it should be as easy as just replacing some or renaming some of those things. Oh, and this now works for some reason. What? I haven't changed this. For some reason I get teleported here. I don't know what's going on. Now I need to test that again. But first I'm going to replace the hearts. Oh yeah, I can see it here. It's no longer generic.max health. It's just max health now. So we can get rid of this and that should work. Let's go see. Whoop. Yeah, it doesn't show the hearts. It shows my apples, telling me that I'm absolutely not hungry. That's good. Alright, coming up on the end here, and now it also works. Okay, I don't understand what's going on. I'm fine. It's fine. Whoosh. Jumping forward in time just a little bit, it is now a couple days later, and we've had a couple new pre-releases. As you can see, I'm on pre-release 3 right now. And we're over at the engineer so that I can show you that I fixed her. Look at that. She walks properly now. That was a very easy change. Since when does this do that? I've never noticed. I genuinely don't know how long this has been in the game. This fence connects to the trapdoor. It might have been in the game since forever. I just never noticed. That's so weird. Anyway, I'm here at the Curse of the Rosalinda to show you a change that I want to make. This currently in my hand, that's Captain Robert's hat. And if I right click, nothing really happens. And that's because technically this is a carved pumpkin. But it doesn't have to be anymore, which is really cool. So there is this new equipable item component that lets us put pretty much anything on, well, any part of our body, I guess. We have a custom model, which I realize might not actually be here, but we'll figure that out. We can set it to be dispensable if we want, and it can be swappable as well, which we do want. Damage on hurt means that it takes damage when the player gets hurt, which I've set to false, but doesn't really matter because you can't really get hurt in Percy Spark. And camera overlay we're not using either, but this could be the pumpkin blur, for example. So let's get it again. It doesn't have the model. I sort of figured it wouldn't. It also doesn't have the model when we put it on our head. Okay, this is, yeah, we can fix this. I've now set it to item model, which I think should fix it. There we go. Let's equip it. We cannot click it. I'm clicking it. It's not clicking. It is showing up though. I'm not really sure why we can't click it. I've messed around with it for a little bit now. I don't seem to be able to get it to work. This may be a bug. I'm not really sure. I'm going to assume that it is. Whoosh. Scratch that. I made a mistake. I didn't remove its consumable component. So by right clicking I was trying to eat it, which didn't work. Right clicking now actually works. It's really cool. Whoosh. So I just found a very interesting bug. If I type in this command over here, it should return either 1 or a 0 depending on whether I'm on the ground or not. Right now I'm on the ground, it should return 1. There you go, 1B. But now I'm in the air and it should return 0. There you go. That's really cool. So the bug that I found, and I'm quickly grabbing an armor stand here, is that that tag doesn't update when you're writing an entity. So right now it should be 1, but when I start writing this, it should go to 0, but it doesn't. It goes to 1. Whereas if I'm flying, which of course will give me 0 again, and if I write the entity now, it will again say 0. It doesn't update anymore, and I think it should. It always has, at least in the past, and this, believe it or not, actually breaks a bunch of my things. And it took me a little while to figure out why it wasn't working, and so I really looked into it and I actually already fixed it. The issue is I have a trigger in the park called sit, and it lets you sit basically wherever you want. It's really cool. However, it performs some checks to make sure that you're not in the air when you're sitting, and then tells you you can't sit here. And if I go sit over on Ollie over here, it also performs a check to see if you're already sitting, because then it shouldn't really work either. Anyway, this tiny change to updating whether I'm on the ground or not when I'm on a vehicle broke that whole thing. And I fixed it now by adding some additional checks. So in the end, it is all good. However, it's not what it used to do, and I'm not really sure if this is what it's supposed to be doing. I have reported a bug to Mojang, and we'll see what comes out of that. In the meantime, I am kind of done over here updating the biggest things and the biggest issues that I had. From this point on, it's really just making the tiny little tweaks. For example, now while you're on the broom and you hit sprint, the FOV changes as well, which I think is a really cool effect. Let's see that again, shall we? There we go. You see that? FOV changes. It is super subtle, but it adds so much, especially considering that Minecraft already does it when you walk and sprint, right? So I think I'm going to leave it here for now. As I've said, the rest of updating Percy's Park is really just tiny tweaks and changes. It's nothing too interesting. I hope that you've enjoyed this very special video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye!